when it does come to Hollywood, they're a little bit out of ideas. Things have been a little bit stale. They've been losing jobs. Streaming isn't doing very well. But one man has a plan. One man has a plan to fix that. That apparently is Donald Trump. Yesterday, Donald Trump named Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson, and Jon Voight as special ambassadors to troubled Hollywood to bring lost business back. Now, obviously, this had some reactions from some people that were not happy at all that Mel Gibson was involved in this or Jon Voight. But all these guys, in some way, shape, or form, over the last couple of years have voiced their support for Donald Trump. I think of all these people, Sylvester Stallone, certainly within modern day Hollywood, is the most well respected. He's still doing a lot of stuff, getting a lot of stuff out there, where these other guys have had to fight a little bit, especially Mel Gibson over the past several years, to keep getting opportunities and jobs and things like that, because people did want them gone for various reasons. But when it comes to this, obviously, it's a big announcement. It's more of a symbolic and a message than anything else to me. But the reality is, when it comes to Hollywood, beyond just the content being shit, there are other things that are going on in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, in California, that have had a lot of other business going elsewhere, whether that's outsourcing to other countries, whether that's filming in other places, whether that's filming in fucking the UK because the tax breaks and the tax incentives are better for them to do it over there. I think those are a lot of the things that he is hoping they can help with. Now, is Mel Gibson going to fucking go into Hollywood or go into fucking Disney animation studios and be like, hey, quit putting the gays and all this stuff? I don't think he's going to have any power to do anything like that, right? But I do think that this is with the point of potentially bringing back some of these jobs that have been lost in a variety of ways. Now, certainly, you can only go so far if you're not putting out content that people actually want to watch. But I think that's kind of more the realm of where this is coming from, that Donald Trump wants a new golden age in Hollywood. And certainly, places like the Rolling fucking Stone, they don't think very highly of that. Aluminum age of Hollywood. Trump taps Voight, Gibson, Stallone as special ambassadors to bring back Hollywood. What was your thought when you heard about this?
I honestly hope that they will come together and look at smaller studios and maybe be able to work some things out to help out. For me, it's like the Disney stuff and everything. Like they have the money. They're not going to care what Mel Gibson has to say or anything. But there's a lot of other smaller studios that, if we're given the chance, could actually probably produce some amazing shows and things like that. So my hope is that they're able to look at not the big boys, but some of the smaller stuff, and find ways that they could help them get more funding or locations that won't cost as much, where they could actually start producing shows that are not with like the bigger studios. I think that would be very interesting to see what they can come up with. Because, like, for instance, I know this isn't movies, but Skybound bought the licensing to G.I. Joe and Transformers for comic books, and they are putting out some of the best comic books I have ever read as far as Transformers and G.I. Joe. And like, you put these IPs in the right hands, and they're not forever comic books. Like, it's a limited run for a couple years, but these people have done such an amazing job, better than where they were before. And it's like, if you take some things that are out there and put them in the hands of people that actually care about movies, and then you have these people that, like Mel Gibson and Voight and everything, that they're like, hey, we're gonna try to help you get bigger funding and better equipment and stuff like that, because we know you're going to take care of certain properties. I think we could see something very special. And then once the audience recognizes and starts to shift, maybe that will turn the needle on some of these bigger companies as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think obviously what a lot of us want is them to get back to making entertainment.
Yes.
Now, these special envoys, They're not going to be able, like, obviously they have no power to go into any of these companies. And in theory, they shouldn't have any power. The government shouldn't have power to go into this company and force them what to make, right?
Exactly.
So that's not what this is about. But I do think when you look across the landscape, and do I really care about woke activist writers not getting as many jobs because of this? No, I don't care. They're part of the reason all this is so fucked
Yes.
up. But there's a lot of people that have nothing to do with the creative mission or ideology of anything that's happening, and are just simply people that work on sets, work on TV sets, work on movie sets, all these things. Those jobs are down drastically
Yes.
because so little is being made now. One, because they fucking fucked up with all the streaming stuff, and two, because a lot of projects are moving out of that area. They're going to other places. Like I said, didn't Disney just invested a fuck ton of money to film a bunch of stuff over in the UK, and they do that because it's beneficial to them for tax purposes. So I do think that part of what this is going to be about is figuring out how we make it work in the same way we would want to make sure, hey, you're more incentivized to build cars here, to do things like that here and give Americans jobs. How can we make that happen with so many people fleeing Hollywood and the country to film in other places?
You think
I think that's what this is going to be focused on a lot as well.
I agreed. You think like that could open the door for other states that want to have, movie production for jobs and stuff like that, where maybe they give big tax credits or whatever, like in the state, like they won't.
And some
charge
places
as
do
much
that,
for,
right?
Yeah. I know Georgia was getting a lot of like attention, stuff like that.
Georgia does that. Ohio does that. Like a lot of states do have things like that. So I think that the business aspect of it is, I think, one thing they're going to look at, for sure. And obviously, a lot of these people, like John Voight's been around for forever. Sylvester Stallone been around for forever in every single role imaginable: producer, director, actor, all this stuff. Mel Gibson, same thing. So when you look at these people, the experience they have across all aspects of the business makes a lot of sense. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are triggered about the names on that list.